Good day everyone, my name is Shireen Armoreta. So today I'll be discussing supply chain planning. So supply chain planning is the process of organizing how products are made and delivered to customers. So it focuses on making sure that the right products are available in the right quantity at the right time and at the lowest possible cost. So next slide is production planning. So what is production planning and control? So production planning and control, PPC, is the process that helps a company organize how products are made from start to finish. So it decides what to produce, when to produce, how to produce, and how much to produce. So it makes sure the company has enough raw materials, the right equipment and workers, and a clear plan to finish product. So next slide is the 5 stages of production planning and control. So number 1 is planning. So this is the first step. It is like making a blueprint or how the production will happen. So here, the company decides what to make and how to make it, the order of steps to follow, what materials, machines, and workers are needed, how much time and each step will take. So good planning helps meet customer demand, avoid wasting resources, and maintain product quality. So next one is the loading and routing. So routing means deciding the path materials will take in production. So from start to finish. So loading means deciding how much work each machine or worker will handle. So this step helps assign tasks properly and avoid overloading machines or workers. So it makes sure that the right sequence of operation is followed and there are no bottlenecks or what you call delays in the process. So number 3 is production. So this is where the actual work happens. So the product are being made, also called dispatching. So these steps make sure all materials and tools are ready. Workers know what to do. Operations follow the plan. Um, Everything planned in earlier steps is now being carried out. Next is follow up. So after production, this step checks if everything went smoothly. So it looks for problems, delays, mistakes. So the purpose is to measure performance and find ways to improve the process. Next is inspection and correction. So even after production, the company checks the quality of the products and process. They do audits and inspections to ensure the standards are met. So if there are problems, they correct them for future improvements. So these steps help maintain high quality and continuous improvement.
Hi everyone, my name is Rona Edsel Biyatiansa, and for today, let's talk about the capacity planning. So I will explain it to you na lang po. So, in this one guys, think about we're planning a business. Kasi ang capacity planning is a strategic process na sinusiguro how much product o service yung kaya nating ma-produce para ma-meet ang needs ng mga customer. This is very important para sa mga nagpapatakbo o magpapatakbo pa lang ng business. Kasi tinutulungan tayo nito na ma-optimize ang ating resources, ibig sabihin magagamit natin ng gusto o tama ang ating kita o financial performance. Paano? Sa pamamagitan ng pag-analyze ng ating mga business resources tulad ng mga facilities o pwesto, finance, at ng mga empleyado. Dito natin madidetermine kung ano ang pinakamaraming output na kaya natin gawin. Bukod pa doon, nakikita rin natin dito kung yung mga possible bottlenecks, yung mga pwedeng magpabagal sa atin. At tinitignan natin kung paano magagamit ang ating resources para masigurong walang nasasayang o hindi nagagamit ang gusto. Kaya sa capacity planning, hinahanda natin ang lahat para maging efficient tayo at hindi tayo mauubusan ng supply. O hindi naman kaya hindi tayo mag-overproduce. Next slide please. So in this slide, we have the three main types of capacity planning. So we have the first one is demand-based. Dito tinitingnan natin kung gaano karami yung gusto ni customer. Tapos aalamin natin kung kaya ba natin gawin yun. Parang, gusto nila ng 100 cake. Kaya ba natin mag-bake ng ganun karami? Resource-based, the second one. Dito naman, tinitingnan natin kung ano ang meron tayo. May tao ba tayo? May equipment ba tayo? May lugar ba tayo? Tapos aalamin natin kung ano ang kaya natin gawin gamit yun. Parang, okay, may 5 bakers tayo at 2 oven. Ilang cake kaya yung kaya nating magawa? And last is hybrid. Ito yung combo. Tinitingnan natin pareho kung ano ang gusto ng customer at kung ano ang meron tayo. Tapos, mag-decide tayo kung paano natin gagawin. Parang gusto nila ng 100 cake, pero may 5 bakers lang tayo at 2 oven. Paano kaya natin yun gagawin?
Hi everyone, my name is Ajayda Bermas, and today I will discuss demand analysis. Demand analysis means understanding how much of a product or service customers want to buy within a certain time. Businesses look at past sales, market trends, and customer behavior to know what people usually buy. This helps businesses decide how many products to make, how much stock to keep, and how to set prices. Next is the process of demand analysis. The first step is collecting data. This means gathering information like previous sales, seasonal changes, and customer buying habits. This helps businesses see patterns in demand. The second step is analyzing factors. Businesses study things such as price, customers' income, substitutes, and preferences to understand what affects demand. The last step is forecasting demand. Using the collected data, businesses predict how many products customers will buy in the future so they can prepare properly. Accurate demand analysis offers several key benefits for any business. First, it provides the right amount of stock, helping businesses avoid both overstocking and shortage. This means products are available when needed, but resources are not tied up in excess inventory. Second, it improves planning for buying and production. By knowing what is in demand, businesses can allocate resources more efficiently and make smarter decisions about what to produce or order. Third, it ensures customer needs are met. When products are available at the right time, customers are satisfied, which helps build trust and loyalty. Lastly, accurate demand analysis reduces waste and extra cost. Businesses can lower storage expenses and prevent unnecessary losses by producing or purchasing only what is actually needed.
Good day everyone. Today I will be discussing you about project schedule planning sa supply chain. So ang project schedule sa supply chain ay timeline ng lahat ng activities para maging maayos at efficient ang flow ng operations. Ginagamit siya sa production, forecasting, and logistics. Nagsisilbi siyang dynamic tool, kaya kailangan tuloy-tuloy at namomonitor ang project and nag-a-adjust tayo habang tumatakbo yung project. Next is steps to develop a schedule. First is define and scope. Dito, kiniklear kung ano ang main objectives ng project, gaya ng cost reduction or better customer service. Next is identify stakeholders. Dito naman, tinutukoy kung sino ang taong involved at may authority sa bawat part ng process. Next is breakdown task. Dito naman, iisa-isahin lahat ng activities na kailangan gawin na para sa project. 4 is define deficiencies. Dito naman, inaalam kung anong task ang dapat mauna bago makasunod ang iba. 5, estimate duration and resources. So, dito naman, tinatansya kung gaano katagal gagawin ang task at anong resources ang kakailanganin. 6 is for sequence activities. So, dito naman, inaayos ang order ng task gamit ang project calendar or timeline. For 7 is develop schedule. Dito naman is gumagamit ng Gantt chart or similar tools para makita ang overall flow project. Number 8 is monitor and control. Dito naman, binabantayan ang progress at ina-adjust kapag merong delays, risk, or issues. So, for key elements ng supply chain planning, first is demand forecasting. Dito naman, tinataya ang future demand para makapaghanda ang production or sa production. Next is production planning. Pinaplano kung kailan at gaano karami ang ipoproduce based sa demand at resources. Next is resource planning. Dito naman, sinisiguradong available ang materials, equipments, and manpower. Next is logistics and delivery. Dito naman, pinaplano kung paano dadalhin ang product sa customers ng maayos at on time. Lastly is reverse logistics. Dito naman, hinahandle yung returns or defective items na pwedeng i-repair, i-recycle, or i-dispose. So, in summary, ang project schedule planning sa supply chain ay nagsisilbing roadmap sa lahat ng activities to make sure na efficient, on time, at successful ang project mula sa start hanggang sa delivery. Thank you.